Chairman, let me acknowledge that this is your first hearing as the official chair. While you've occupied the seat before, this is your first time as chair, and I commend you and want to thank you for the conversations that you and I have had prior to this hearing. While they were personal to us, I will indicate that they have been positive and productive. Again, I thank you. I'd also like to thank our staffs for the outstanding jobs that they've done in preparing us for today's hearing. I sincerely believe that without the staff's aid and assistance, we would not be nearly as effective as we are. So again, thank you, staff. Mr. Chairman, I'm pleased that we are taking interest in how to improve the federal agency principally responsible for providing housing to low-income Americans. Today's hearing will cover HUD Inspector General investigations into alleged wrongdoing at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The first report concerns lobbying actions taken by HUD that this subcommittee held a hearing on nearly a year ago. The IG's report for this incident concluded that HUD had not violated the Anti-Lobbying Act. However, individuals at HUD had violated HUD's internal policies related to lobbying Congress on pending legislation. HUD has since taken action to clarify lobbying rules for its employees and acted to respond to the concerns raised during last year's hearing. More recently, the Government Accountability Office, the GAO, determined that these actions taken by individuals at HUD violated the Anti-Deficiency Act related to the proper use of appropriated funds. As such, I fully expect HUD to comply appropriately and to take the necessary actions to address this. The other topic of today's hearing is related to an IG investigation into alleged improper activities of an individual at HUD brought on through an agreement permitted under the Intergovernmental Personnel Act. While these agreements are designed to provide federal agencies the ability to employ subject matter experts on a temporary basis, I believe it is our responsibility to ensure that it is being done properly. The HUD IG investigation raises a number of concerns about the actions taken by individuals at HUD and whether there was proper consideration given to potential conflicts of interest. I want to be clear, perspicuously so, Mr. Chairman. I believe it is our subcommittee's responsibility to fully investigate what has occurred, as do you, at HUD, and if wrongdoing is uncovered, it should be dealt with appropriately. However, like you, Mr. Chairman, I contend that this subcommittee's ultimate goal must be improving HUD. HUD's mission is critical to the success of this nation, and by and large, HUD continues to provide support for affordable housing for millions of Americans, including over 14,000 veterans, and 56% of HUD's tenants are supported, 56% of HUD's tenants supported by HUD are elderly or disabled. HUD currently employs over 9,000 people around the United States. While it would appear that the IG's findings suggest that former HUD employees may have acted improperly, we should not conclude that their actions suggest a larger, more systemic problem at HUD. I will reiterate that HUD should act appropriately, and it appears that HUD is addressing concerns raised by the IG. One of the things that I will introduce into evidence at some point, Mr. Chairman, is a joint communique signed by the Secretary of HUD and the IG indicating a willingness to work together to bring resolution to the concerns that have been raised. We should not allow this debate to metamorphose into anything more than trying to improve HUD, Mr. Chairman. I agree with you. And in fact, it is my hope that once the agency has addressed our concerns, this subcommittee will turn its attention to more pressing national matters, including the struggles of our country's smallest banks, that our state public housing and the state of our public housing in America. Mr. Chairman, nearly every member of this committee has heard from small banks about their struggles that they're facing in balancing their consumer protections with the regulatory burdens that they struggle with. Over 6,000 of our nation's banks, which is more than 90% of all banks in this country, are under $1 billion in assets. And I believe that we must do more to help them, lest we wish to stand idly by while the industry continues to consolidate. While I look forward to this hearing from our witness and hearing from our witnesses, Mr. Chairman, I do want to work to improve HUD, and I'm eager to tackle the many other issues that demand our attention. I yield back.
The Chair now recognizes